and welcome to another episode of In Real Life with Adrena. This is a virtual coffee chat with my fellow entrepreneur friends. Just a chance for us to go behind the scenes in their business to hear how they got started and what keeps them going, and maybe some challenges that they have along the way. My name is Adrena. I am the owner and accountant here at Accounting by Adrena. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking to Michelle Marie. Now, if you'll remember last year, we did an episode with Michelle Marie and we were talking all about her design and website branding business. And so in this particular episode, we're going to talk all about her product shop. And I'm so excited about this episode and this conversation with Michelle. Michelle owns a graphic design agency and supports business owners with all of their graphic design needs, including logo design, website design, marketing collateral design. Michelle also owns a product shop where she sells Canva templates, website design templates, and fun apparel appealing to small business owners. And I can vouch for her because I have purchased many a product from Michelle. So I'm really excited about this conversation. Let's get to it. So I just want to begin with this question as far as like how you got started, what kind of like, what's your why behind your business, and maybe like what keeps you going?
Yeah, so my business, apart from the product shop, is also a graphic design business. So that's how things kind of got started. And I started as a side gig because I wasn't really feeling that creative energy being fulfilled in my full-time job. So I kind of just started designing on the side and realized that I could turn it into a full-time business and do something that I loved while also being able to help other people do things that they love by creating logos and websites for them. So that's how I got started. And I love being able to help other female small business owners launch and grow their businesses. And that's why I love having this business. And then the product shop, which we're going to be talking about, was kind of just an extension of the business and to be able to like cheer on other people and help other people with the template shop grow their businesses, and then with the apparel shop to be able to wear the apparel and kind of like show off and brag to other people that they are business owners.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've got one of your products on right now.
Yes, that's the original.
So and actually I think the first piece I bought from you was the like I'm a CEO sweatshirt last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I love like wearing that around in public, especially because, you know, people will be like, oh, nice. Or like they'll comment on it. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yes, I love that. I love hearing that because that's like one of the reasons for creating the apparel was to make it be a conversation starter for people. So then you can start talking about your business and, you know, getting more people supporting you.
Nice. So when did you actually start the product shop?
I want to say it was definitely over a year ago. Maybe like a year and a half.
Okay.
2 years. I can't remember exactly.
I know, I can't either.
I mean, COVID really messed up my memory of like when things happened. But anyways, yeah, let's just go with a few years ago. And I kind of just got started with it because I had gone full-time entrepreneur then. And my wardrobe went from wearing cute clothes every day to wearing t-shirts every day, and noticed that I didn't really own any t-shirts. So I just kind of thought that, you know, I'm a designer. Why don't I just make my own t-shirts? So
Yeah.
I started designing my own t-shirts. And I want to say the first one that I designed was about coffee. And
Nice.
like they were just kind of fun in the beginning. And then, you know, I was super proud of my business and what I had started. So then I created the next t-shirt, which was I'm busy building an empire. And I started wearing them in my social media posts, like in my Instagram stories. And people would ask me where to get one. And I said, oh, I designed it, didn't really have any plans for selling the shirts at all. But then a few people had asked if they could buy one off of me. So then I started looking into how to create the product shop, and I added more designs to the shop over time.
Nice. Nice. So how does one even get started with it's funny that your automatic response to not having enough t-shirts was, why don't I just make my own? So how do you even move from point A to point B? What were some of the steps that you took to start designing your own apparel?
So it was very hard, I will say, in the beginning, because I was sitting there and saying the same thing. How do you even create your own shirt, right? I had remembered a shirt that I had bought from a craft show years ago, probably 6 years ago, that said Caffeine Queen on it. And she sold her own t-shirts, and I loved that t-shirt and I wore it all the time. And so I started by looking at the tag of this t-shirt.
Nice.
And I noticed that it said Bella Canvas, which a lot of people I feel like are aware of if you know anything about t-shirts, but that's kind of how I started. I Googled what Bella Canvas was and read that it was, plain t-shirts with nothing on them that you could buy and then, put your artwork on and sell. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of the starting point that I had. And then I did a lot more research from there, how do you actually print on t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people will use their own cry cut machines. So I was looking into those and making my own shirts. But at the time, the shirts were only really for me. So I didn't want to go that route, buying an expensive machine, knowing that I would probably only make, 4 or 5 shirts total with a $400 machine. So I kind of, after that, I researched how to get somebody else to make the shirt for you. Yeah. So there's a ton of companies out there, and I ended up going with Printful, which is, they've been great. I have loved working with them. The customer service is really great. And it was easier than I thought to set everything up. But basically, when I had made the shirts for myself, I sent them the designs and then they shipped them to me, and they allow you to set up your own shop. So I learned how to do that with them. I set up my own shop. And so when somebody orders from the shop, they're printing the designs for me and shipping for me. But yeah, there's a ton of different avenues that you can go down if you are looking into creating your own products. You could either, make it yourself with whatever machines you can, or you can have a third-party service do this for you. But obviously you make less money that way through the third party.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. So as far as when you figured out all of the, everything that you needed, all the nuts and bolts in order to create the t-shirts and get them going, what would be your number one piece of advice for people if they are interested in designing and creating their own product shop as well?
Oh, there is so much that goes into it. And I feel like a lot of people, I saw a spike in a lot of people trying to sell their own products over COVID, especially on TikTok. And I really commend all of those people for doing all this research, because I don't know how many hours I spent on this, but it was a lot. And I was pretty overwhelmed, especially when it came to the financial side of this. How am I going to collect sales tax? And is the website, or is the person Etsy, for instance, are they collecting the sales tax? Or I don't know, all that stuff was super confusing to me. But I guess my advice would be to just start small. Don't get super overwhelmed. You will get to the finish line eventually. It's kind of like starting any business. A lot of people get super overwhelmed with their lengthy to-do list and all the things they need to figure out. Start opening a business bank account and filing to be an LLC, all that kind of stuff. Just take it one step at a time. You'll get there. And then if anything, just try to reach out to anyone that you might know that has started a product shop, because that's what I did also, and it was super helpful.
Oh, that's smart. I like that little piece of advice. Like find someone that you know who already is doing this and ask their advice on
Mhm.
how they got started. So, as far as like COVID is concerned, did you notice that it affected your product shop at all during like the course of the pandemic?
I don't know if I can directly relate the sales to the shop, but if anything, I felt like the sales exceeded what I thought they were going to last fall. And perhaps it was because everyone was working from home and they needed t-shirts and sweatshirts.
Yeah,
So that might have helped a little bit.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I've never really thought about that.
So, as far as like where you feel like you're going to go with the product shop in the future, like what do you see happening? Do you see yourself creating more designs, putting them on t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats? Like, is there any like expansion that you might have in mind?
Yeah, so I've actually been thinking about this a lot this past month because I kind of just let the product shop sit on my website. Every time that I do a launch of a new design, I will obviously see an influx of sales. And then after the launch is over, it will be kind of quiet for a little bit. So I'm right now trying to figure out where I want to take this. Like, do I just want to have the current designs, kind of chill on the site and just have this be a little fun, like side activity going on where people can occasionally buy shirts and that's great? Or do I want to try and grow this and continue to make more designs? So I have actually been researching if I want to buy like a screen printing
Yeah,
screen. I don't even know what they're called.
well, yeah. I understand what you're saying.
Screen printing and like try to do it myself. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
I don't know where it's gonna take me next. I do know that I am going to look into using Comfort Colors t-shirts next round instead of Bella Canvas. Like I'll still keep the Bella Canvas ones, but Comfort Colors has some really cool colors, like some really cute neutral colors, which I'm super excited to explore. So I might explore that with some more neutral, like business owner sayings for the fall. So I'm thinking of doing another fall launch this year.
nice.
But in short, I don't have like a huge business plan for the product shop. It's just kind of a little side hobby to my main business.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that you're such like a DIY person. You're like, I'm going to buy that big machine that you can make your own t-shirts out of.
I've thought about it and I'm like trying to figure out how I can justify the cost to myself. And I
Yeah.
keep telling myself, well, this could just be like, everyone has to have a hobby. Some people like swimming and painting and, they spend money on those things. So
It
maybe I
is
could.
true. That is very true. Yeah, absolutely. um, so I just wanted to kind of like end with maybe like a self-care tip that you might have for us. Maybe it's something that you've developed in the past year over COVID, or just as being an entrepreneur. I know that there's like a lot of things that we need to do to keep ourselves sane as we're being our own entrepreneurial selves. That's
Yeah.
a hard word to say.
Okay, I'm gonna give two tips, and these are just so basic. I'm not somebody who's like super into self-care or anything, but I have learned a lot over the last year of COVID and what I need to stay sane.
Yeah.
But the first tip is definitely get outside every day, even if you don't feel like going outside. But I've forced myself to go on walks every day, and it's helpful that I have a dog, so I kind of have to go on a walk every day. But I can I can tell like on days that I don't get any sunshine or any outside experience that I'm not in like the greatest mood. And then the second tip that I have is, especially for business owners out there, is to take social media breaks when you can and when you feel like it, and as often as you want to. Like, don't be scared to take breaks. I took a month. Not a full month, but I kind of took a full month off of my business. I want to say it was back in March earlier this year, and it just helped so much. I think that a lot of us get so overwhelmed with, trying to keep up with the ever changing algorithm and stressing out about that, because a lot of our clients come from social media. But this year I'm trying to learn to kind of let that go and just let things like happen how they should, and not really stress out about posting every day and trying to keep up with like what other industry leaders are posting.
Yeah, yeah. I love those two pieces of advice. I've been hearing a lot about how important it is to get like sun on your skin, like first thing in the morning, or you just even in your eyes, like not looking directly at the sun, but how it's so helpful for our bodies. And I have yet to like give it a try because I'm just like, oh, it's so early. I don't know if I can, but those are such great tips. Even like the social media break, I've or taking a break from your business in general. I haven't really like given those aspects of thought, but yeah, those are really great pieces of advice. So thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
And as far as like getting in touch with you, if people wanted to purchase any kind of items like said t-shirt or any of the items that you create, where should they go to find you?
So you can check out the product shop on my website, which is michellemaristudio.com. And I also have an Instagram, which I believe is shecreates.shop, maybe underscore. I'm not totally sure. I will have to get back.
We'll put all the instructions and everything in the description box below. Well, thank you so much for coming on In Real Life with Adrena today. I very much enjoyed our conversation, and I'm looking forward to what you have in store next. I know you've got like a podcast going, and let's see where else this product shop takes you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.